So here we are back in the Mittenrahm, but not. You can obviously tell where I am, and any of you who've maybe watched the previous two videos know exactly what I'm about to show. The reason I'm stood on this exact spot is because I discovered it purely by chance yesterday, and it happens to be a really nice shot of the progress. It's slightly deceiving, it has to be said. The lower half is hollow. Funny story, I left these in green because I wasn't done. I didn't expect to mark out the rest of this until I was doing each piece in turn. So I decided that, leaving it green would be nice and visible, very easy to count and see well what was what, especially from a distance. And then yesterday, I just logged on and for some reason just decided that this is what I was doing today. So, I finished marking out all of this stuff basically. Just a kind of a pseudo framework for the sphere. And just kind of without really thinking about it, just did it all in the lime wool rather. And it was only after I was done, and hours later, I suddenly thought, well, hold on, I'm done with it now. I don't need to see what the numbers and all of the curves are, so I could have just done it in tough. Now I've got to replace the whole lot. Fortunately, I'm not above using the fill command for something like this, so I will literally just go around using fill to swap out the wool for the tough and just get it over with. There's no value in doing it by hand, other than to punish myself for making such a silly mistake. Anyway, that's that. Move on to actual work. I don't quite remember what the state of this was. I think I might have put this in place to get an idea about what the full height was. As previously noted, that is a build height, you can't go any higher. So despite this, I still remain. I just feel like I really should have gone out one more layer. I just feel like the sphere is going to be lost. Once it's all done, the sphere is just going to look like a golf ball in the middle of all of this. So, okay, fair enough, from this angle, it's going to look slightly bigger when it's done, but I don't think it's going to be enough. I think I may have mentioned that I do intend to put in additional buildings poking out here to beef out the sphere, but it's not going to be the sphere, so, I'm working on completing the external for just this 1/4, but when I'm ready to go, I am actually thinking that I will build the rest from the bottom up. Just the full thing, one bit at a time. Probably not the externals, but the sphere I think will be done in one go, so to speak. As much as a headache that may be, I just want to avoid doing stuff and then forgetting what I've done because I don't do the next section for 3 months, and then having to go back and try and figure out what the thinking was, and what the patterns were. This was fairly straightforward because I was putting in a ring and then putting the same ring in again and again and again, and I just want to be able to do that with the internals. As I say, rather than, 3 months later be struggling to remember how these pillars look. Is that missing? Oh, there we go. Anyway. So a lot of the focus has been on the connection between the side cathedrals. This is finished, essentially. There's floors inside to be done, but I feel like the decoration is complete. I did do this and then realised that I was blocking the line of sight of the gun. This is obviously out here because it was easier to see what I was doing. I did build one in here, but I wasn't happy and I really couldn't see what the issue was. So I think other than this, I'm fairly okay with it. I'm not quite sure what to do about it. It'd be nice if you could attach the furnace, brewing stand rather, upside down, which you can't, so not much I can do about it. I wonder about a lightning rod. I think that's going to be a problem. It doesn't actually connect. Let's see. Oops. I mean, it does connect if you do it that way, but how do I put him here now? No, that actually looks better the other way around. That's much nicer. Guess we're sticking with that now. Rather annoyingly, I went into the overworld yesterday to look at these gun designs that are on the Colossus, and I went through swapping out all of these. They were actually brewing stands instead of these, which obviously didn't exist at the time, and I swapped them out like about half a dozen of them, and now I'm sat here like, oh, I need to go back and turn them upside down now. Which is nice. What do we put here? I really shouldn't be doing this right now, should I? No, that's not going to work. It's not brilliant. So I've got questions about colours. This was second. This came first. Well, technically, actually, this is like the third version of this kind of colour spread, and this is like the second version of this, so I've been messing around with it. I'll probably do new experiments on the other 3 sides, and then try and pick one and go with it. I'm trying to avoid going with a full elemental theme. I would like to maybe hint at it, but I don't want to go overboard. It's tempting, but yeah, I like to restrain it a little bit. I need to put this on the other one. Anyway, so a few steps further along on a very long journey, but I'm going to say adieu and possibly get on with building this wing of the cathedral up there, or at least the half of the wing, so that, as I say, so that this ends up complete as near as before I go on to the other three quarters. But you know, we'll see. Oh, one last thing. Putting some bits in place for yeah, potentially a walkway. That was the original plan. There would actually be a connection here, but there's going to be something, but it's not going to be quite what I originally had in mind. But that's the way it goes when you don't really have a plan. Anyway. I shall say adieu and get on with some of it.